hear the voice of reason.
Welcome. What's up, everybody? This is another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. Make sure you hit the notification bell, share, like, comment. Is that Voice of Reason NF on YouTube. Buzzer beater is the IG, the TikTok, etc. It's a funky story behind how I got that name. I'm not going to get into it. I was challenged by a colleague, though, that, my story didn't necessarily complement the name. Just stirring the pot a little for people who know what I'm talking about. Everything doesn't reach everyone. I hope everything is productive for you and you've been having a good week. I'm sorry that you had a good weekend, because if you're watching this right now, your week is starting for most people. Hope you enjoyed your weekend, though. My sports heads, current events, the football is getting, that upset Detroit. I don't want to get into everything for those who don't watch it, but we are down to the NFC and AFC championship. But when you watch this, we should know who the Super Bowl competition going to be. A lot of people going for the Chiefs for the three-peat. I'm going to predict Chiefs-Eagles. But look at me. This is how you know I pre-record, because when you see this, we'll know who they are. But I'm saying it prior to Chiefs-Eagles. Only upset will be Bills-Eagles. I got to pick a struggle, right? Let's go right in. Whenever you have expectations, code word standards. So let me just warn you, in life, in everything, the work you put in, the way you maneuver, the way you move, you're going to expect something to happen as a result of. The more you rely on this thought, the more you give this energy, sorry to say, you might be setting up for failure. It's all well and dandy to think that way because you know you do enough to afford that type of thinking. But I don't think the world works that way. Which does not mean to not put in a lot of work, bust your fucking ass, go hard, hustle nonstop, be ambitious. It's not to not have these qualities, but you kind of got to go off of that and just keep going. You know how people who are rich that stay rich? So investments, etc. It's like when you make money while you're not working and you don't even have to touch that money. Let's say you making money because you got a business or you got some side shit period going on from your 9 to 5 and you don't even got to touch that money really. So that money stays and replenishes and all of that. That's how you kind of got to have the ambitions when dealing with expectations. If you going in, you doing your 1-2s, you gotta just keep going and don't let nothing distract you or slow you down, negative or positive. Even when good news come, you may catch a break or something might pop in your favor. That doesn't mean to really chill. Take a slight breather and get right back to it. But I'm telling you, it's a dangerous place to be if you give expectations too much of your brain cells. Especially in people. Now, business-wise and what I set it off with, fine. You can draw you a little chunk. Draw your little chunk of expectations. in business, finance, etc. But in people, and I'm not even going to just go off of relationship alone, friends, family. When you use this word expectation, you're playing a very dangerous game. Very. If you could co-sign and you have mostly positive stories with dealing with this, good for you. But I don't see that as the majority. It's like whatever do happen, that's good. You know, you go, I'm grateful, no doubt. Didn't expect that. That's how you counter that. You don't overhype or over expect, period. So now when something does come, I'm repeating it. I want you to really get it. You're like, cool, I didn't expect that. You cherish it more. You cherish it more and you keep your eye focused. You keep focus, no distraction, positive or negative. So just take it very easy and tread light when dealing with the word expectation because it's dangerous. There's a lot of negative stories, a lot of complaining. A lot of things have turned left because people put too much energy into that. You know, we could put you on the spot. It's called privileged, spoiled, anything. People with expectations have those kind of qualities. Privileged, spoiled. Because you're supposed to know better. What the fuck can you expect? Only thing you're supposed to expect is death. I hate to sound brash, but that's expected. You know what I mean? Everything else is not really. Everything else could be debatable. Death is expected. Everything else you got to work for. And know that you got to continue to work for. So, I don't know what you expect. Punch. Move on. What are things women do intentionally to either get a man's attention or to see how much a man cares? What can a man do? Same example. This definitely needs a guest. Those little comments I make, that's just me thinking out loud. I'm very proud of this platform. I'm proud of everybody who's been on here. I'm proud of everyone every episode I had to hold down for myself. So there's no short change here. Any comments I make, anything I say, I am truly proud of this platform and I continue to do it and I'll continue to do it. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe now to Voice of Reason NF. Don't get it twisted. So, I think women, social media wise, post, I won't call it provocative pictures, but revealing pictures to show their sexy side, their pretty side, their beautiful side, or whatever. That might be done intentionally. Just the opposite of catcalling, you know, hey, big head, pause. What you doing? What's up, stranger? Those are, you know, things to pull a guy in. But as far as what they do, I guess person face to face, the same provocative or dress, like I said, I don't want to say provocative, revealing, you know, they'll dress that same way on social media to probably dress to come to you if y'all going on a date or y'all hanging out. You know what I mean? Ask questions. Do you miss me? Pardon me for not having a long list. I ain't a woman. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to, jump in their minds if I can for a sec. Ask for help on things that they already know how to overcome. And ask for help with things they can't. But I'm pretty sure when they really want to intentionally get your attention, they will ask or inquire about things they already know. Straight like that. Men, we always get the short end of the stick, man. Masculine, strong, alpha. We don't need validation. Why do we need that? It's bullshit. Every human that walks the earth deserves some of the same shit. We do need to be told we're dope sometimes. Now, I feel you. I don't feel we need the level and the magnitude of what women need as attention and validation. But that don't minus the fact that we can't take none, or we're not supposed to have none. But I don't see what a man could do in this same example, unless he with low-hanging fruit. Sorry to be always negative. Like, I know my homeboys and my male peers are like, yo, voice of reason, cut it out. I got the baddies fiending for me. I got baddies validating me. That's dope. I'm just saying, we're not really afforded that on the same magnitude, and we really shouldn't need it as much. But we do need it, is my point. So whether a man has, whether I have the man examples or not, you do what you do to get your validation. You could do the online shit women do. For my guys that work out, got a decent fit, physically fit, to a degree. There's progress. You're doing your 1-2s. So you can show that. You can't get too creative and obnoxious though. So it's still limited. And it's sad because I had some women examples, but it seemed like I'm struggling more with the men ones. Because I really feel like they be really getting at us saying that, that's a turnoff. A man needs validation. Is it? It's levels. But every human wouldn't mind. So don't make it seem like it's that far-fetched. Copy? Watch out, fellas. For the hey big heads, what you doing? Any random aggressive initiation of contact that they do may be that as well. Don't want you to be paranoid though. Or think you lit. Some women are just randomly harmless / no intent. No, read the vibe, read the energy of it. All right? My toxic trait is I know how to love, but I don't know how to believe I'm loved. Man, I wish I could hug this person. They need a hug. And I don't mean that in a negative way. That is so real. That's the person that look out for everybody, make sure everybody good. And even if they receive some of that back, it's never the level of what they gave. Again, let's go back to the beginning. Expectations, right? You can't be genuine. I've said this countless times. You can't be a certain way and say, yo, I'm not getting that back. Because then you're only doing things on condition. So if you know how to love, and that's just you, yeah, you got to protect yourself. You learn lessons from each encounter where you showed this love and it didn't work. So you can't really shut it off completely. But you should be fully aware of who gets that love and energy. And if you are cautious with who you give that to, you shouldn't say You don't know how to believe that you're loved. Because now you're locking in and paying attention. You're not just doing it. Some people, and I've done it, you just were so into the person, you showed them how to love, but you ain't even set yourself up to receive love back because the focus was always on the giving. When is the time to receive? You feel me? There's people like that just keep going, giving. When is your receive come? What do you receive and when? Last segment, I said pour your glass first. What are we doing? It's good. It's good motivation for people who need it to know someone like that. But it's not healthy for that said person per se. They need to feel loved. And they kill me because the people that walk the earth that's the total opposite of this, gets the love. In a lot of cases, they get the love that the one who do the love giving lack. Why? We go with the obstacle instead of the smooth ride, right? They always go against the grain, pretty much. Need a challenge. Need to feel pushed. You better get it together. That's what I know. A part of you has to die every time you evolve. Had to have one with a shout out, right? Erykah Badu, they attached her name to this. To a degree, I believe this. I think it gets to a point where that isn't every case, because if a part of you die every time, do you get to the point where there's nothing left? So how can you evolve with nothing left? So maybe some of the beginning things that you go through, or anything new, like it hits you in a different way that you ain't feel before. Now, a part of you may have to die. But if you ain't mature, and I hate to say it like that's the only reason, but that's a big reason. If you ain't mature enough to not go through the same things again, a part of you shouldn't die if it's repetitive. Shouldn't. But it may. So I'm not saying to totally disregard this, like you won't sometimes feel that way every time you level up. A few times when you level up. Not every time, as like I said. Again, you have to get stronger so that doesn't happen. Or if it's something you've never experienced, then I can see. But either way, try to get above this and not feel that you have to die every time you evolve. A spoon-fed woman will never see eye to eye with a man who had to get it out the mud. Privilege. Go back to the beginning again. Expectations. Man, I won't even say numbers. I won't say most. I won't say least. I won't say mid. Fellas, feel me on this. You just have your moment with it. We ain't got blasted. How many times have you spent energy on this situation? You got it out the mud. They didn't. And their behavior and the way they think screams it. But you still tried, didn't you, fellas? You still wanted it to work. You still had a thing for, you know what I mean? Like, there's distractions to make you take this challenge on. Now, sorry for the low blows ahead. Pause. A spoon-fed woman with no kids, okay. You want to tackle that, you go ahead. So now, my fellas, I got it out the mud. You want a partner who knows what that's like, who's experienced that, correct? I kind of jumped. I dodged that shit because I ain't really want the drama behind it, but I'm going to say it. A spoon-fed, sorry, man. Sorry. I was going to leave it alone. But I wouldn't be voice of reason. Let's spin the block. A spoon-fed woman with kids. How much more heavier that is, fellas? I'm not bashing women with kids, single moms. But I need those single moms that get it out the mud. And it's crazy because I would think if you're a single mom and it's been a minute since you've been single momming, that's an example of getting it out the mud because you got to do shit. That shit is on you. That shit weigh heavy and all of that. So I feel like you kind of more built. You should be. But that's, diabolical to sit here and tell all the guys to go get a woman with kids because that may be the closest to them understanding how to get it out the mud. But I know that you shouldn't minus it. I don't feel you should eliminate that option. It just may not be your first choice, and it doesn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? But the spoon-fed woman who doesn't have kids, it kind of makes sense why she's spoon-fed. These things are making sense. Of course, there's those scenarios where it's twisted. A spoon-fed woman acting like the one that has kids, and the one who don't have kids is acting like the one with kids when it comes to this mentality. But either way, fellas, if you had to get it out the mud, that was difficult probably for you. I don't want you to have more difficulties in dealing with your partner search. Feel me? We're going to close out. Men always craved baddies. Social media just multiplied it. So back in the days, not to reveal the age, before social media, we would see baddies live and direct. We always crave them. We always would like to know what that's like. We always want to sample. We want to taste. We may want to be with them completely. Whatever we draw in our head, right? So that was always a thing. What social media does is give you access to a device in your hand that you can see hundreds and hundreds a day. The era I'm from, you didn't see 100 a day because you only got that face-to-face contact. You didn't have no phone to go to look up women. So, wanting a baddie, but using my same mindset like the back in the day dude that know that, I'm not going to see 100 in a day, but I'm going to pursue this, whatever one I cross, I'll try and keep it pushing if it don't go. But the dudes that's here since the era of hundreds and thousands a day, they don't value a baddie because 100... Why value them is this? They outnumbered. They outnumber the regular. Face-to-face, person-to-person, in your day-to-day travels, you may see an equal balance. There's going to be some that's a baddie. You're going to see some that look okay. You might see some that's low-hanging fruit. I think on social media, based on how you have your shit set up, who you follow, where the traffic come from, what you watch mostly, you could demolish it. And then all the women that you see on your phone are pretty much all baddies based on your patterns and what you look up and what you see. So that's the battery that social media puts in the back for the baddies as far as online. You know what I mean? But it was never not a thing. Like never. We always chase that thrill. Sometimes, some point, somewhere. Might have kept it low because you wasn't successful, or it went crazy left. You was successful, but it didn't last. It went wild left, and you're like, fuck. So, I can't judge your natural instincts. Just be aware that because there's so many more baddies via social media, etc., that you still got to be choosy amongst the baddies. If you're going to go that route and really pursue that. You know, I know a lot of guys that's like, yo, I don't give a heck. You see 300 baddies in a day. It's going to get me one, settle down, and chill the hell out. And enjoy this pension and whatever fruits of my labor you have. You know what I mean? So until next time, you know my 3 Ps. Stay productive, stay pushing, stay progressive, stay positive. Next time.